Hi everyone, welcome to Pearls of Bible. In last video we saw about the plagues of Egypt. Now the Israelites are ready to leave. They had to leave quickly and they needed food. So they took bread, dough made without yeast. It could be cooked quickly because it did not need time to rise and was called unleavened bread. Even today, unleavened bread is used by the Israelites in the Passover celebration. It reminds them that their ancestors left Egypt in a hurry. Over 1 million Israelites set out on food from Egypt. Many other people, as well as their sheep, goats, and cattle, went with them. They had to leave Egypt very suddenly. They did not have time to get their food ready, so they made unleavened bread from the flour they had brought out of Egypt. The Israelites had lived in Egypt for 430 years. On the very day the 430 years ended, all the Lord's people left Egypt. That night the Lord watched over them and brought them out of Egypt. This event is celebrated every year in honor of the Lord. The king of Egypt came to know that the people had escaped. He and his officials changed their minds and said, "What have we done? We have lost our slaves." Then the king got his war chariot and his army ready. They all set out with their chariots. The best 600 were led by their officers. The Lord made the king so angry that he decided to go after the Israelites, who had left Egypt so happily. The Egyptian army, with all the horses, chariots, and the drivers, followed them. They caught up with the Israelites by the Red Sea where they were camping. When the Israelites saw the king and his army marching against them, they were frightened. They cried out to the Lord for help. They said to Moses, "Were there no graves in Egypt? Did you have to bring us out here in the desert to die? Look what you have done to bring us out of Egypt. We told you before we left that this would happen. We told you to leave us alone and let us live as slaves of Egyptians. It would be better to be slaves there than to die here in the desert." Moses answered, "Do not be afraid, be calm. Then you will see what the Lord will do to save you today. You will never see these Egyptians again. The Lord will fight for you. All you have to do is to stay calm." The Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out for help? Tell the people to move forward. Lift up your rod and hold it over the sea. The water will divide. The Israelites will be able to walk through the sea on dry ground. I will make the cruel Egyptians go in after them. When I defeat them, they will know that I am the Lord. Then they will honor me." Now the angel of God moved from the front of the people of Israel. A pillar of cloud also moved until it was between the Egyptians and the Israelites. The cloud made it dark for the Egyptians, but gave light to the people of Israel. So the Egyptians' army could not come near the Israelites all night. Moses held out his hand over the sea. The Lord set a strong east wind and drove the sea back. The wind blew all night. The water was divided and the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground. There were walls of water on both sides. The Egyptians followed them with all their horses, chariots, and drivers. Just before dawn, the Lord looked down through the pillar of fire and cloud at the Egyptian army. He brought about great fear and confusion among them. He made the wheels of their chariots get stuck. It was very hard for them to move. The Egyptians said, "The Lord is fighting for the Hebrews against us. Let's get out of here." The Lord said to Moses, "Hold out your hand over the sea, and the water will come back over the Egyptians." So Moses held out his hand over the sea. At daybreak, the water returned to where it was before. The Egyptians tried to escape from the water, but the Lord threw them into the sea. The water came back and covered the Egyptians' army. Not one of them was left. In this way, the Lord saved the people of Israel from the Egyptians. The Israelites saw them lying dead on the seashore. When they saw the Lord's great power in destroying the Egyptians, they praised and thanked him. They had faith in the Lord and his servant Moses. Here is the part of the song that Moses sang to celebrate the Israelites' escape from the Egyptians. I will sing to the Lord, for he has won a great victory. He has thrown the horses and their riders into the sea. The Lord is by my side to protect me and save me. He is my God, and I will praise him. I will sing about the greatness of my father's God. The Lord is a warrior. His name is so wonderful. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.